I'm going to start demoing this unit. I spent the last day and a half just thinking through some things and buying supplies. So I feel like I should have at least most of the framing stuff ready to go. But first we're going to just take apart what I don't want on here. So I'm going to start with taking off these top two middle sections first, so I can use that as leverage to pull out these electrical boxes. And then once that's out, I'll probably release these wires from their studs, and then basically start to put everything back together in the position I need them to. So far I have turned off the breakers for this area, and I've tested with quite a few voltage and electrical machines just to make sure that there's no electricity here. So hopefully it should be good to go, but I'll be dismantling this bit by bit, and I'll just probably show you along the way. So the way I cut through to get to the wires is basically using one of these, I don't know, oscillation tools or the saws, cut on top and bottom around the saw, just about close to the hole of the electrical, or whether halfway point is through there, and then use the hammer to knock it out. Now, for some instances, I was a little bit nervous just because, again, I'm working with two different wood blocks here. I didn't want to make an accident and, cut through one of these cables. So I cut a little bit too shallow or a little bit too deep. So I had to basically handsaw close enough to chisel my way out of it. But that was the way that I saw to do this online. So now that these are out of place, the next step is to basically take off probably the pillars first, which will hopefully help the top come down. I may take off at least maybe the top of these, one of the two by whatever these sixes are, or one by, I don't know, whatever it is. Take the top one off, and then probably go ahead and remove the pillars, and then take off the base and reposition everything. The top is out. I removed the plywood that was sitting on top of the center structure here. So what I'm going to do next is take out the front in-betweens. I'll leave the back because I think I might still need it at that height. Not sure yet when I complete my final measurements. But for now, I'll leave everything in the back untouched and just take out the front. So once these in-betweens are gone, then I'll remove the poles and then work last on the bottom. All right, everything for the most part is out except for the corners where we have some electrical coming out of the wall. So what I'm going to do is handsaw around those holes and then try to knock that out and pry it out. And then these last two pieces should be pretty easy to pull out the wall. But once that's out of place, I'll clean up this area and then start with the bench, the hearth bench, because I know that I do want it to be from wall to wall, and then kind of work my way backwards in terms of structure and frame. Because again, I think I mentioned in the last video, I kind of changed my mind in terms of how wide I wanted the inset of the fireplace to be. So it's very hard for me to visualize, and the tape didn't really help as much. It was helpful, but I feel like there's just some considerations that I still need to take into account. So I think I'll just do that as I go. I've cleaned up and vacuumed over here. So like I mentioned, I'm going to start with framing out the seating hearth and then work my way up. I did tape up the electrical with painter's tape for now, just to get out the way. But then the goal is, once I have my frame up, an electrician can help me reroute them through the studs as they need to be. And hopefully that can help keep things smooth and cost effective.